Hi to all. In this video, we are going to see about how the induction motor working as a induction generator. Normally, subsynchronous, supersynchronous, other. If it goes to supersynchronous, the value of the rotor will be more than the stator. Then it acts as a generator. Let's see induction generator. When a squirrel cage induction motor is energized from a three-phase power system and is mechanically driven above its synchronous speed. Okay, that is called supersynchronous. It will deliver power to the system. An induction generator receives its excitation magnetizing current from the system to which it is connected. It consumes rather than supplies reactive power kVAR and supplies only real power kW to the system. The kVAR are required by the induction generator plus the kVAR requirements of all other loads on the system must be supplied from the synchronous generator or static capacitor on the system. Induction motor produces torque based on the difference between the rotor speed and synchronous speed. The applied line voltage produces a rotating magnetic field whose lines of flux are cut by the squirrel cage rotor winding. When those windings cut flux lines, the current is induced that produces a rotating magnetic field. Thus, you have two magnetic fields attracting each other. Okay. If the induction motor is speed up by an overhauling load, um, the difference can fall to zero and no current in the rotor, thus no magnetic field in the rotor. Torque can be uh, torque can be in either direction depends upon the relative direction of rotation between the rotating magnetic field of the stator and uh, the induced magnetic field on the rotor. If there is no line voltage applied, an induction motor will work only generate very small amount of voltage due to only on industrial magnetism. If the windings are shorted, there will be a small about okay, braking, but only once it starts turning. Regenerative braking only work, works when the line voltage is present on the stator. Okay, the line voltage and frequency can be varied by using VFT, variable frequency. Thus, the amount of braking is variable. Plugging is just reversing. It too only works if the line voltage is present on the stator. If the induction motor is standstill, nothing will hold it. The braking torque is only available if line of magnetic flux are cut. Either way, the motor needs to be moving and AC voltage is applied to the stator to get any kind of torque. The term the regenerative braking has been thrown around for many years regarding squirrel cage induction motors, but it has been small until the invention of VFD that has regenerative front ends. The simplest form of braking with an induction motor is plugging. Okay, and plugging reversal. In this case, you simplify through the motor into reverse while still running at full load speed, usually just for a few seconds. If your power system and mechanical drive can take it, this form of braking will bring things to a stretching halt. The less abused form of braking is DC injection, where low voltage DC is applied to the stator to the motor that instant that the supply voltage is removed. This will bring the motor to general stop. Okay. However, it's not available in the soft starters that have a soft which is probably the best way dynamically stop the induction motors by controlling the VFT and then simplify lowering the on the inertia of load. Okay. It can be as long as enough to limit the VFT DC bus voltage. Okay. However, if the amount of braking energy required is high, the VFT must have equipped operating as a generator, percentage of slip, synchronous speed, torque, efficiency of the motor, the operating as a motor. The same slip below synchronous speed, the shaft torque electric power is reversed. Typical speed torque characteristics of an induction motor shown in figure. Now, for example, 3600 RPM squirrel cage induction motor, which delivers full load output of 3550 RPM as a motor, will deliver full load rated power as a generator of 3650 RPM. See here 3600 is the rated speed of this machine. So if it is runs less than 3600, that is 3550, the motor acting as a motor. When the the speed speed will be more than the synchronous speed 3600, above the synchronous speed 3650, there it acting as a generator if the offload motor speed is 3570 rpm. Okay, the output of a generator will be one half of the rated value when driven at 3630 rpm. Since the induction generator is actually an induction motor being driven by a prime mover, it has several advantages. If less expensive, it is less expensive and more readily available than a synchronous generator. It does not require any DC field excitation voltage. Okay, so more expensive for the synchronous generators. Synchronous generators, how it works? The rotor as well as stator speed or both are same. But here in induction motor acting as a induction generator, the rotor speed will be above the stator speed. That in this case synchronous speed. Let us consider 3600 is the RPM of rotating magnetic field. Then the rotor speed will be more than that 3650 or 3700. In that case it acting as a generator. Okay, so in a induction generator it does not require a DC field excitation voltage. In the case of synchronous generator we must give field excitation, DC field excitation. Okay, it automatically synchronizes with the power system, so its controls are simple and less expensive. Okay, the principle of the disadvantage of the induction generator as listed below. Okay, it is not suitable for separator isolated operation. It consumes the rather than supplies magnetizing kVAR. It cannot contribute to the maintenance of systems voltage levels. This is left entirely to the synchronous generators or capacitors. In general, it has the lower efficiency. Efficiency of the synchronous motor will be very high than compared with efficiency of the induction generators. Okay, induction application. The energy cost so high, energy recovery became an important part of the economic of most of the industry process. The induction generator is ideal for such applications because it requires very little in the way of control systems and maintenance. Because of the simplicity and small size per kilowatt of output power, the induction generators are also favored very strongly for small windmills. Many commercial windmills are designed to operate in parallel with larger power systems, supplying a fraction of the consumer's total power needs. In such operations, the power system can be relied on for voltage and frequency control, and static capacitors can be used for power factor correction. Thank you.